Hello, it's the Friday Talkie. So what have I got to talk about today? Today I'm going to talk about pretty much the same thing everyone else is talking about. In fact, I've got a couple of topics, maybe even three, but two of them have been talked about to death and I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. Sony PS4, the big announcement that really wasn't, was it? I didn't watch the show. I was like, I don't care about this. I've heard so much. And as it turns out, I was probably better off not watching it anyway. It was a whole load of... If you wanted to see the console and hear specific details about the console, yeah, where was it? So you got to see the controller and they showed bits of footage of games that would be on it, and whether was this real in-game footage or was it pre-rendered? Anyway, here is what I got from this and what I've been getting about the next generation over the past few months, and this is purely opinion, and there will be those who will say you don't know what you're talking about, but you know what my stance is on this. The current manufacturers of the next generation of consoles, we're talking Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, have lost the plot. Nintendo are the only ones, it seems to me, making what I would consider to be a proper games console, in that it's there for playing games. Sony and Microsoft seem to be... They've taken their eye off the ball, or rather they've forgotten what it is they're meant to be making, which is a games console. Here's the thing, gaming has expanded massively over the past few years so that it is now a mass market thing, and there are different sectors of that market. There are your traditional gamers, people I think like you and me. We want to play games on our consoles. We want our consoles to be made for playing games on. Then there is this other sector that's kind of moved in. Your casual gamer who also, they're playing games on their phone, on their pad. Yeah, I do that now. They maybe weren't gamers before, and there are a lot of them. There are a hell of a lot of them. Mainstream gaming kind of moved in, but used different equipment, and the console manufacturers have thought, whoa, so this is how people are gaming now, we'd better have some of that. And they're putting all of these new features on their consoles. Touchscreen or touchpad stuff, social networking, all kinds of social networking. And that is stuff that people like me not only don't care about, but are very much opposed to. Don't want it. Absolutely don't want it. I don't want any of that crap. I want a console that I can just plug in and play my games. And I own the games because I paid for them. And they're not doing that. They're messing around. I think they've taken their eye off the ball. They've forgotten who they're catering. Well, it's not that they've forgotten who they're catering to. They're now catering to a different market. And that market, well, it ain't me. And that's what I thought. When I saw or read about after the fact all the stuff that had been on this big Sony announcement, PS4, blah blah, and I was like, don't care about that, don't care about that, don't care about that, don't want that. The whole will it or won't it play second-hand games? Well, the question was asked quite specifically, will it play second-hand games? And the guy who was asked had to ask someone else, and they were like, yeah, it will. Very vague, very non-committal. Yeah, it'll play second-hand games. I don't trust them. I don't trust them one little bit. My prediction is it will play second-hand games out of the box when you buy it. But the PS3 could run Linux when it was new, out of the box. But what happened to that? At such a point as they think they can get away with it, they will stop it. That's my prediction. I will probably forget that I've made this prediction by the time it happens, but there it is. I don't trust them. I don't want any of this stuff that they've got it doing. Will I buy one? Well, it's too soon to tell, isn't it? I think the things that they're saying are putting me off massively. I still find the PS3 a perfectly capable and adequate games console with masses of games that I currently don't own. that will be available for quite a long time to come. Brand new, and guess what? Second hand, it'll play them. Yeah, and there's no motivation for me to really think about buying one, and there's so much stuff that I hear on it that I don't like. Here we go, another prediction. The way I see it. People have been talking about it for quite a few years and predicting it. I remember someone saying to me, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I don't remember who it was, do you think that the big video games crash is coming anytime soon? And I thought, utter nonsense. I think we're right slap bang in the middle of it right now. The crash is happening. We're seeing it. We're in the middle of it. There's just going to be a massive change in the way gaming is done, because the big boys are going to fall on their asses. Prediction. Might be wrong. Would be kind of... Would I be glad to be wrong? Actually, no. I want to be right on this one, because I think I don't want them to succeed in the direction that they're going, because I don't like it. So maybe it's all wishful thinking. But that's my stance on it. This is the crash. We're in it. It's happening right now. And they're all going to come tumbling down. Nintendo, I think, will go the way of Sega. Whilst Microsoft have got other business, Sony have got other business. Are they going to get out of the console market after this next generation? Maybe. Because I think they're going to fall on their asses. I'm happy to be proved... Well, no, I'm not. I'm prepared to be proven wrong. But that's how I feel when I look at things at the moment. That's just the way it looks to me. We shall see. Other main topic that's doing the rounds at the moment. I've ummed and ahed about whether I even want to talk about this, because as a rule I try and stay away from this kind of thing. Ebegging and eDrama. There's been a couple of channels asking for donations from their viewers to help finance and improve their channels, buy equipment and stuff. I'm not going to get into the whether there are rights and wrongs in that. It's up to them, it's their call. How does it make me feel when I see that kind of thing? I just think, I ain't paying for that. I'll keep watching, I won't unsubscribe, I won't throw up my arms in outrage. I'm just like, yeah, right. I watch the ads or not. And, you know. But that's my reaction. It's like, whatever. I'm paying, I'll still watch. It's up to other people what they do. That's all I've got to say about that. But what kind of follows in the wake of videos like that is the backlash, the drama, the big hoo-ha, the backbiting, the backstabbing, the oh my god, he's blah blah doing this and that and he's a terrible person and you should unsubscribe to such a person, blah blah. Here's the thing. There are different sectors of this community, and I think community seems to mean different things to different people, because I hear about all of those videos with the people getting irate and upset and angry and just plain nasty, and it occurred to me, I don't actually see them. I have seen none of those videos. I know they're out there because I've heard about them, but I haven't seen any of them, and I sat and thought, why is that? And it is because the community exists in different... There are different circles, different people, different cliques, different groups. And it seems there are... Well, there are probably more than two, but it seems to me there are two different approaches to how the community works. There are those who are supportive. And this to me is how community should work. But it's just my opinion. Groups of friends with a shared interest who support each other. We share a hobby. Someone's doing something we like, we shout them out. We do what we can to help them along. If we've got plenty of viewers and we can send some of them to them, that's what we do. It's supportive. And then there is another area that I don't venture into, that is competitive, where I know this from, I have encountered channels like this. I have, in my stumbling around looking for new channels to watch, I see the, I am the greatest, I am the best, I do this better than everyone else, and it's competitive and it's a bit aggressive. And there is some... That's where the backbiting and the backstabbing seems to come from. To get to the top, you've got to push the other guy down. That's not community. That's something else, to my mind. I don't know what you would call that, but I see that. I don't like that. I don't subscribe to those channels. I don't say, hey, look at this channel, they're doing this, I don't like them. Don't subscribe to them. No, I just don't subscribe to them, and I don't see them. And I think that's why I don't see all of this bullshit that's going around at the moment. I don't know. I have my own personal feeling on why there are different sections of the community that behave in different ways, but I'm not going to come out and say what I think it is, because it would be inflammatory and cause no end of trouble, and I don't want to do that. But it's interesting. To the people who say, you know, oh, this community is going to hell, everyone's fighting everyone, and it's all really nasty. Well, all I can say is, you're watching the wrong people. If you don't want to see the backstabbing, don't watch the channels that do it. Because I don't. And from where I sit, the community is in absolutely fine form. The best it has been in a long time. There are some fantastic channels doing fantastic things, helping each other out, bringing each other's channels to attention, sharing ideas, and generally and genuinely being nice people. And from where I sit, that's all I see. If you don't want to see the shit, don't watch those channels. Okay, that's all I've got to say on that. Potentially inflammatory? I don't know. So, actually this next thing kind of flows into that. It's a not exactly a specific response to, but it's kind of in relation to something Lawnboy's post asked this week, which was, why do you watch video gameplay videos? And that's a very good video, and you should go and watch that. Or I recommend watching it anyway. I shouldn't say you should. I hate it when people say you should anything to me, so I won't do that to you. I recommend watching that if you feel like it. I'm not going to respond directly to that, why do I watch video game play videos, but I'm going to say, what do I like to watch? Because most of what I watch features gameplay. I don't watch pickups. I don't watch a lot of the more technical stuff. I don't watch many actual system hardware reviews where... how can I put it? I don't watch... I do system reviews. And it's rare that I will watch one by someone else who's doing one on a system I've got already, because the chances are I'm already familiar with it. I probably don't know as much of the technical detail, but then I don't really care about that. I watch a few talkies by one or two people, a very few people, and mostly what I watch is gameplay, and it can be reviews. There are one or two channels that do really, really good scripted reviews. Like I watch Classic Game Room. I won't say every single video, but most videos I watch Classic Game Room because I like his sense of humour and I like his taste in games. And yes, he is one of those massive big channels who doesn't need any assistance from the likes of me to get his name out there. I wouldn't even say he's part of the community. He's just in terms of video games on YouTube, he's a YouTube celebrity. And I like, you know, I don't let that stop me watching. There are some people who are a little bit elitist, like, oh, they're massive, they're not part of the community, I'm not watching. Well, I say bollocks to that. If they're fun, watch. And he's fun. He's very entertaining. And that is actually what I like. I'm rarely watching technical stuff. I'm watching most of what's going on here. Occasionally I will learn something, but mostly I'm just watching for entertainment. If it's gameplay, specifically I'm watching for entertainment. I want them to be talking. You know, they could be reviewing it. They could be doing what I do and just playing it and talking. But they've got to do it well. And in that way, by that I mean it's got to be entertaining. And some people can do it and some people can't. It's easy to play a game and get little clips of it where you're playing well, and then do a whole load of research and find the backstory and the history and everything of the game and go on and on about this and that and the other and spout facts and stuff. I don't care. I want to be amused, I want to be entertained, and there are some channels that do that incredibly well. Yeah, I think a lot of that comes down to a sense of humour. It's like Freakin' D. He does reviews, and he does very good reviews. He also does his Lazy Game Room Plays videos where he plays it and he talks. And I watch those and I enjoy them because he has a sense of humour that I can relate to. It's very dry. Some people don't get it. They're like, why are you being nasty about this game? And he's not. It's deadpan, and he's fantastic at it. I watch that kind of thing and I enjoy it greatly. Polyventris. Yeah, he's got a great sense of humour, which maybe not everyone gets, but there'll be moments where he'll just say something. And there's no punchline, there's no canned laughter in the background to tell you it's a joke. And some people don't get that it's a joke, maybe, but I find them extremely funny. And he has me rolling around on a fairly regular basis, just because it's dry wit. I like that. There are quite a few channels out there, and I could sit here and spout loads, but I'm not going to. I shout out the channels that I like. If you're one of those people, and I imagine there are quite a few people who just can't, you know, can you bear to sit and watch me rambling on for 20 minutes enough to get to the end of the video? Because if you're not, if you're bored already, I wonder how many people don't know. I shout out a channel at the end of every Friday Talkie, or almost every, and these are channels that I like. There, done. Now I've got a shout out. Let's turn this around. Actually, there I am saying I'm shouting out channels that I like. This is something different. This is not a channel. As a rule, I don't pay attention to Kickstarter, but there is a chap who I shouted out a while ago, maybe a year ago. His name is Mike Hanson. He runs the channel onegoshortplay, which I shouted out and which I find very enjoyable. It was Amiga games where he has a quick go and you see what it looks like. And he doesn't talk on them, but that's not the point and that's not what we're here for. He tells his whole story here, and I'm not going to read it to you because you can read yourself. I'll put the link down there somewhere. He lost his job. This is not a sob story. He's a video games artist. And he decided, okay, he will spend his time programming a game. And the game is called Power Up. And it's on modern hardware. It's on PC and Xbox 360, I guess. And he's been working on that, and it looks good. There's some video footage of it here, and he explains his story here on this video on this page that I will link you to. And he's doing a Kickstarter project to try and finance it. There are 5 days to go, and he's not quite there. He needs 5,000. He's at 4,265, and he's not. While he's clearly good at programming, publicity is not his speciality. And he asked me, could I help? So here I am. 5 days to go. Kickstarter. Very cool looking game. Down the side here on the right, he explains, what do you get for your pledge? I'm not going to read these out to you, but there are loads of different options where you'll get different things, and I encourage you to go along to the page that I will link to. Check that out. If the game looks like something you're interested in, and it does look good quality, and it does look like someone who's into retro gaming would find up their street, you know, their kind of thing. It's obviously shooty, lots of bullets, lots of spaceships and stuff. If that's you, excuse me, if that's your cup of tea, and you feel like placing a pledge, please do, because he could use the assistance. He's getting near the goal, but there are 5 days to go. Got 185 backers. People are clearly interested and into it. There you are. That is Power Up. Link down below. Kickstarter project by onegoshortplay. Mike Hanson. So, there we go. Closing comments? Ha! I never know what to say at this point. As you know, coming up then, more of the same. I have to say that. It's tradition now. It's written in law somewhere. Well, more Amiga stuff. You might have noticed that my output this week has been slightly erratic. I think it was Monday, there was no video at all, and then there was the I deviated from the Amiga stuff and did a MAME game and stuff like that. Here's the thing, this week Andrea has been on holiday, it's half term, so she's been home and I've been pretty much every day going out driving, getting driving practice with her, so I've had less time. Next week she's back at work. So I will get stuck back into the Amiga stuff and hopefully have more time setting. I've got a whole bundle of Amiga stuff that I've been going through, and some of them are kind of big, involved, multi-disc things that take time just to install, never mind play. And I've had a little bit of difficulty with some of them, old discs. I was going to do Darkseed, but one of the discs was corrupted, and this is a problem I am having with Amiga games. The discs, even when they've been kept immaculately in a box that doesn't allow any vibration at all, they haven't been knocked around, they still fail. You know, I've had several boxes, big boxes sitting around, masses of big games, really well looked after, and they still fail. I've got these disc boxes that I've had kicking around for like however long, 15 years or whatever, of discs that I bought. And disc cases, you know, the ones where you can just flick through them, yeah, they get shook around a lot more and the discs in them are, yeah, a lot of them don't want to know. It's quite shocking actually, in fact quite alarming, the extent to which discs will fail, and even CDs. I have a mass of CD cover discs off the cover of Amiga Format and CU Amiga and whatever that sat up in fact I don't know when they failed. Was I still in Milton Keynes when I found out they'd conked out? I don't know, but it's like whatever layer of it, the aluminium or whatever, must have corroded. Something's gone wrong with them because none of them work anymore. They haven't sat in the sun. God knows DVDs fail when they sit in the sun. I had a lot sitting in the window here. That was stupid. But yeah, I've got a mass of CDs that won't load. You put them in and sometimes, you know, it can read the icons and everything. But you try and load anything off of there and it's like, forget it. And that's trying it on 2 different Amigas and on PC disk drive. You know, it doesn't matter what you put them in, they ain't going to work. And it's a shame. It's just very fortunate that a lot, if not most, Amiga software is downloadable off the interwebs these days, and it is possible, if you have an Amiga with a CD-ROM drive, to convert it. You can download your ADFs, burn them on. This is how I do it. I mean, if you've got one of those SD or compact flash card thingamajigs, you can do all of that. But I download ADFs, burn them onto a CD-ROM, put that into my Amiga and then convert it back into a floppy. And it's good that you can do that because I would have lost an awful lot of software otherwise that I can still get, if I can remember it. There we go. So yes, what's coming up then is more Amiga. Concentrating on the Amiga for the moment. The Android channel is going well. I've got some 250 something subscribers now. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. Quick plug, anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, playing Android badly. Basically doing on that channel what I do here, but Android games. I've got to do one of those fairly soon, today, tomorrow, something like that, because it's about time I did. And that's about all I've got to say now. Okay, I'll shut up. Thank you for watching.